What's up, YouTube? YugiohTube here, describing the winners and losers of this Logan Paul fiasco. I am going to try and sum this up in under 5 minutes. What exactly happened, how we got to this point, and again, who the winners and losers are in this whole transaction that turned out to be a disaster. Okay, let's get right into it. So, eBay seller from Canada, low feedback, selling a, quote, sealed case of Pokemon First Edition base set. As we know, boxes were about 300 to 400K, so a case should run about 1.6 million, up to 2 million for a sealed case premium. People asked this fellow, how did you get the case? This seller, which is now known as the scammer, said, oh, I got it from an estate sale. Then he said, oh, I got it in an attic. So long story short, the seller was giving just multiple stories about the case. The case had different kind of label. It had a different kind of stop, do not open, red and white tape on it, different font, period after the statement. It just didn't look right. It looked overall pretty good, to be honest with you, but not quite right. And Pokemon Rattle on YouTube, or Rattle Pokemon, he then exposed this entire thing. He noted everything. So congrats and kudos to you. I'll try and link him down in the description. Thank you so much for all of the investigative work. So long story short, this case ended for under $100,000. Any serious person is saying, okay, this ended at under $100,000. If a box is worth 300K, why is a 6-box case going for under 100,000? Everyone at that point, you know, this is a scam, it's a fraud, it's a fake case. Ironically, the case was actually shilled by the seller as well. Long story short as well, this seller had tried to avoid anybody opening the case. Someone said, I'll buy it, I'll come to you, I'll open it in person, I'll pay you cash for it. He declined. I wonder why. Also, he noted in the description how if you open the case, there was a, I don't know, 20% restocking fee or something. So he was deterring everyone possible from ever opening this case. What happened was there was a guy who came along called Jacob and another guy called Mealy Pops. These two went in on this case. No one really knows how much they bought this case for, but these two had gone in on this case. What happened was they then said, okay, we're going to go on this case. We're going to get it authenticated by BBCE, and it's going to it should raise the value of this case, right? I mean, realistically. What is BBCE? BBCE is called the Baseball Card Exchange. What they do is they authenticate old sealed wax, which is what we call old sealed boxes. So back in the day, boxes were not sealed. Baseball packs, old sports packs, they were not sealed. Old sports boxes just came in an unsealed box. What BBCE does is they wrap it in their own special wrap to basically say this box has been untampered with, this box is unsearched, meaning someone can't go open a pack, take out the good Mickey Mantle cards, put the rest of the crap in, and then just put the pack right back in the box. Back in the day, those packs were so bad with the sealing that anyone could go and just take out like a Mickey Mantle and then put some crap inside of it and say it's factory sealed. So this BBCE, or Baseball Card Exchange, was almost like seen as this is the industry standard, where if it's wrapped by BBCE in their special factory wrap, then we know it's legitimate, we know it hasn't been touched, or no funny business going on with this product. So they're mainly known for sports. So what this Jacob and Mealy Pops did after they received their case from the person, which they actually have a video going through the entire process on YouTube, Mealy Pops does, after they went through this case, okay, everything checked out to them, and to be honest with you, again, it had its red flags, but it wasn't a horrible fake, but it still had its red flags. Now, what they did was, ironically, the seller declared a value of $1,000 for this case. Lord have mercy. And what they did was they got it authenticated by BBCE. The owner of BBCE is Steve Hart, known as Steve Hart. Okay, what we just found out as well from that video is Steve Hart actually works with PSA and their grading packs department. So anything you're sending to PSA, whether it be Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic the Gathering sealed packs, that's going through BBCE or Steve Hart's hands. And what's horrifying now, and I'll get to this, it's alluding to what I'm going to talk about, who the losers are of this. PSA is a huge loser. In addition to BBCE for getting this wrong, PSA, big time loser as well, but we'll get into that. Nonetheless, they get it all sealed up by BBCE as authentic and factory sealed and genuine and all this good stuff. Then they both flip this case to a person on Instagram. He has a fantastic collection called Shine on Instagram. Then Shine goes ahead Well, first of all, Shine buys the case for about $2 to $2.4 million. Somewhere in that range. I don't know the exact number. I forget. He then flips the case to Logan Paul for about $3.5 million. So there's been 3 transactions of this case since it was received from Mealy Pops and Jacob. So from Mealy Pops and Jacob, it went to Shine. From Shine, then, it went to Logan Paul. So I should actually say 2 after the original scammer had sold it. Okay, so now it's in Logan Paul's hands. Rattle Pokemon or Pokemon Rattle, again, I apologize. I don't know the exact order it goes in. He then makes videos and says how it is fake, what the red flags are, which all makes sense. And once people heard and found out about the guy who can't even make a story straight, I mean, we all knew at that point that the case is fake, right? The guy can't even keep a lie straight. So nonetheless, they go back to BBCE. Logan Paul and Shine, and they're all back with BBCE. And then then they go and open it. So they're going to say, we've seen the people that says this is fake. It doesn't look good. I don't think there's a big premium anymore because there's so many red flags on this case. We're going to go ahead and open it. If it's legit, it might actually raise the value of the case. If it's not legit, it's a disaster. Many, many people thought it's not legit, myself included. And boom, it was an absolute disaster. It was filled with GI Joe cards. It was not a factory sealed case, and it turned out to be a $3.5 million mess. So now we have to wonder what's going to happen, who's getting refunds, what's the transactions that are happening. The only thing we do know is supposedly that Shine refunded Logan Paul. As of today, January 13th of 2022, we saw on his Instagram that he did refund Logan Paul. Okay, winners of this transaction, absolutely nobody. The scammer, hopefully, this should be some sort of big investigation to actually put the scammer behind bars. If he's not behind bars, that's all I'm going to say in Canada. If he's not behind bars, he is a big winner. If he avoids jail time, because he absolutely deserves it. Other than that, who wins in this? Nobody. Nobody's winning in this case. No pun intended. Losers. BBCE got absolutely destroyed. Their reputation, their credibility. Any credibility they had is absolutely tarnished. Now, if you look at BBCE, you look at BBCE wrap stuff, go to eBay and look it up. What a mess it is. It looks absolutely a disaster. And people get over this, maybe. The rumor was that Steve Hart, did not know much about Pokemon or anything like that. But to be honest with you, then you shouldn't be authenticating this sealed case. Big time loser is BBCE and Steve Hart, unfortunately. PSA, also a huge loser, because again, in that video, he says he works with PSA, slabbing up and grading or whatever it might be. I don't know what form or fashion, but he works with PSA, and that right there is enough to say PSA, uh-oh. So everything now that's graded by PSA, any packs or anything like that, sealed packs, oof, ouch, ouch. PSA took one on the chin right there. Another loser, of course, is Shine. Shine, he had lost. He had purchased it for over $2 million. He had now refunded Logan Paul. So at this point, he is out a ton of money. Hopefully, he does get his refund and money back. That's all I'm hoping for. But again, time will tell what happens. Right as of now, he is a loser. The good thing is, though, unfortunately, he has the greatest collection I've ever seen. So good for him. He should, I would imagine, get his money back as well. Obviously, the next 2 losers, Mealy Pops and Jacob. Boom. That is going to be very interesting to see how this turns out, because they, from what people say, and again, I'm not saying any kind of, thing that's defaming anybody, but what people say is they took the risk on that case. They knew the case had multiple stories in it, and it went way cheaper than it should have, and then they still bought it anyway and still flipped it. Now, is it entirely their fault? Probably not, because BBCE also contributed to the factor of, okay, it's authenticated now, so it's also lying on BBCE. So they all, in my opinion, huge losers. I don't know what's going to happen here between Mealy Pops, that Jacob individual, Shine, Logan Paul. No one really knows what's going to happen, but they are big losers. And again, of course, going just quickly back to the winners. Rattle Pokemon, or Pokemon Rattle. I apologize. I don't know what the exact name is. You should blow up. The investigative work saved Logan Paul millions of dollars. I hope Logan Paul treats you to a nice vacation or something. or at the very least blows up your channel because it's well deserved. So also, there is some good to come out of it. The individual who was the detective in this case, hopefully is compensated, and he is definitely a winner in this case. And lastly, the loser, going back to the loser, we're going about the hobby. The hobby took a big loss. You know, when you have a $3.5 million transaction that went fake, what does that look like for the hobby? It looks terrible. It looks awful. Now people associate sports cards, Pokemon cards, trading cards in general as fakes. There's a lot of scams. There's a lot of dishonest people out there. There's a lot of horrible individuals trying to make a quick buck. And it's sad. It's really sad. Definitely a loss for the hobby. And we go to the winners and losers. Winners and losers, Logan Paul. You're saying why? Logan Paul, his case was fake. Well, he's a loser, of course, because the factory sealed Pokemon case actually turned out to be fake. So he actually really wanted that factory sealed case. Turned out to be fake, and it was first edition base set, and it was a whole headache in general. He doesn't seem too bothered by it, which is nice. He ultimately lost because he didn't get what he wanted. The good news is he's a winner in the fact that he got his money back from Shine, so good move on Shine's part. Great stuff. Shine gave him his money back, so right now he's not taking any sort of loss, Logan Paul. Logan Paul right now financially has no hit in his wallet. He just has, unfortunately, the stress, the time, the opportunity cost of, well, now I have to check out this Pokemon case that turned out fake. But in reality, he also, Logan Paul, is a winner. Okay, so Logan Paul is both a loser and a winner in this situation. He's a winner because he got his money back. Logan Paul got all of his $3.5 million back. The transaction was refunded to him fully. Not only that, he got some fantastic content out of this. 7-minute video from Logan Paul exposing the case as fake when they open it. I'm sure is going to blow up. It already has probably blown up. So now he's going to make some extra revenue from that. So now Logan Paul is, from a marketing play, did a fantastic job because now he's back to square one. Nothing is lost except his time and his stress, and unfortunately the potential case he could have had or thought he did have. But in return, he's a winner in the fact that he's getting more exposure, more marketing, more solid, hype around this whole thing, and so he is a winner in some ways. So that right there is my analysis of this entire situation. If you had survived until 13 minutes, good for you. I really appreciate it. Until next time, YugiohTube signing out.